Hi creative friends! In this video I want to talk about some art supplies that are collecting dust. If you're new here, hi, my name is Audrey. I'm a teaching artist and educator, and I have an online shop full of stationery and lifestyle goods. So these items that are collecting dust are not necessarily bad items or poor quality items. They're just things that I bought once upon a time because I thought they might be a cool idea, and I just never got around to using them, or I have used them and I just lost that habit of using them. So without further ado, here are 5 items in my studio that are collecting dust. The first one are these water brushes. Now they're not literally collecting dust, but these are brushes that I probably bought 5 years ago, maybe more, and I haven't really touched them. Actually, there was another one in this set, and there was definitely mold growing in this pen, so I had to throw it out. It was so gross. These are still okay, but I really have not used them. They are stained though, because again, I did use them once upon a time, but it's been ages. Again, these aren't bad supplies. I really do enjoy water brushes, especially when I'm out and about. But I've noticed that even when I'm out and about, I tend to use a lot of water. So this water brush is a lot, longer than this one. So you can just see the side-by-side comparison, right? So it's a little bit longer, and so I can hold a little bit more water. Middle part of this water reservoir is also a little bit wider. Yeah, I just don't gravitate towards them. And I think it's because the bristles are a little bit too stiff for my liking. Yeah, and they also don't maintain that nice point that I'm used to. So again, it was nice once upon a time. I think in the beginning when I was learning watercolor, because I learned calligraphy before watercolor, I actually use these for calligraphy or brush lettering, whatever you want to call them. But I use these for that. But again, since then, I really haven't used these. So they are now just in my brush jar, but not being used. Another supply that's collecting dust, masking fluid. This one I've definitely had since like 2017, 2018. And I think I got this because, everyone says, oh, you should try out masking fluid if you're painting with watercolor. So I did. And this is by Winsor & Newton. And it's still really good quality. It's still very, oh, hold on. Yeah, it's still very liquidy. It's a little bit dried. It's a little bit dried on the inside, but it's not too bad. I think I've used up maybe half of this, a third of this. Yeah. So this is still in good condition, but it's just collecting dust because the last time I used this was probably last year, and it was during several of my live streams. No, not even last year, because last year was 2024. So 2 years ago during my 100-day project. I really haven't used this since then. This one, it's one of those where you have to attach like the cap to it, and then there's a very thin, I don't even know what to call it, needle, syringe. No, not a syringe, needle, I guess. I mean, you can also just use it straight out of this container too, but this one definitely smells, I smelled it earlier. Yeah, so it just really smells. I'm not a huge fan of this one. I also don't know why it's turning blue. Can someone tell me why? I'll probably still hold on to this maybe for another couple more months, but I really don't see myself using this. But this one, I mean, I'm still gonna keep just because it's still in great condition. But like I said, it is collecting dust. Another supply that's collecting dust are these toned mixed media pads. So this one is a toned gray. This is a toned tan, and this is toned blue. It actually isn't collecting dust because it's in a drawer. But again, it's that I haven't touched these. These are brand new. All of the pages are still here. I know I bought these. I remember buying these. I'm pretty sure it was from Michael's, but they were on like some huge sale. So I think these were like, I don't know, 50 or more % off. So I was like, wait, what? And I remember watching a couple artists talking about the benefits of using toned paper, because sometimes using stark white paper, can be a little jarring. And then you learn a lot more about creating with values when you use toned paper and toned blue. So I thought that was so interesting. But again, I have not touched these. So they're just sitting in my drawer, just I don't know, aging. These are really nice mixed media paper though. They do feel really thick, 184 pound and 300 GSM. So this actually could work for, I think, work for watercolors. Definitely gouache. Yeah, this is really thick paper. When I was going through my list of supplies and seeing what I really haven't used, this definitely came to my mind, but it also kind of sparked some inspiration in me. So I might try, using this sometime this year. Just because it is really interesting. Again, not that these are collecting dust because they are bad supplies, but I just haven't used them. Okay, for the other two supplies, I gotta take you to them, okay? So we've got these liquid watercolors on these bookshelves here in this corner, and you can literally see the dust. Look at that, this is definitely collecting dust. Oh my gosh, these are so dusty. It's kind of gross. Okay, so these are liquid watercolors. So I have a couple varieties. So I first bought, oh, it's so dusty. So I first bought these Dr. P.H. Martin's India inks. And again, I bought these because I was really into calligraphy. These are like permanent. They're such vibrant colors and they glide so well in the calligraphy nibs. So I just had to get these. So I got like a whole set of 12 colors. And so that's the majority of those. And I also have a bottle of this walnut drawing ink. And this is actually really great because this is a very warm brown color. And so it's great for, incorporating into your watercolor projects. Again, black can be a little bit too jarring or provide too much contrast. So brown is a nice soft alternative. But yeah, it's literally collecting dust. Like, look at that. Oh no, I'm sorry. And then over here, we have the bleed proof white. I actually have another jar of this like somewhere over back there, but I guess this jar is also over here. It actually looks really clean still, so that's good. Now it's probably collecting dust because I'm now using more like acrylic paint pens or the white gel pen. Ugh. Oh well. Again, so I had a period of using India inks, and then when I got really into watercolor, I kind of stopped using the India inks because again, those are permanent. They're inks and not paint, so they're the formula is different. And so I decided to get the same brand, Dr. P.H. Martin's, but then try out their liquid watercolors. So they have a watercolor line called Hydrus. It looks like this. It looks exactly like the Bombay India inks, honestly. But just the packaging, the labeling obviously looks a little bit different. But yeah, for the most part, that's what it is. I think I got a set of 12 as well. But yeah, just look how bright the colors are. They are really beautiful. But again, I just don't gravitate towards liquid watercolors. So I kind of just shoved them onto this shelf and they've literally been sitting there for 2 years and I haven't touched them. The only reason why I probably haven't thrown them out is because they were really expensive. So I'm kind of hesitant to let them go. And I keep telling myself, oh, I will use it. I will use it. I still have not. And then I have a couple bottles of Chicagoland watercolors, and I bought these from an Instagram friend. Well, I mean, I have met her in person. I think she was moving. I think she was downsizing or just selling a lot of her art supplies. And so when I saw her, selling some of the Chicagoland, I was like, ooh, I always wanted to try that brand. So I figured, let's check it out. So I have, I think, 3 bottles of the Chicagoland, but have I touched them since then? No, I have not. So yeah, these are sadly collecting dust. But again, not because they're bad supplies, but just because I haven't had a chance to use them or I'm being lazy. Last but not least, an art supply that is collecting dust, again, kind of metaphorically, are really old watercolor tube paints and regular paints. So in this drawer unit in front of me, and the top drawer, I have all of these like really old paints. So these are like the original Winsor Newton Cotman colors that I used to paint with. And this is what I used to use for some of my in-person workshops, just because they are so affordable and they're still very good quality. So I still have, I don't know how many tubes of these, and they're all like half used, It's just like seems such a waste to throw these away. I have a tiny palette that I've half used. Then this is a watercolor travel brush set. This technically isn't part of the
list, but it's just here in this drawer. These are definitely two paints that I haven't touched in a really long time. So these are older brands. They're mostly Shinhan, and they're a Korean brand. Oh, look, more Cotman colors. And then it looks like I have some Lucas colors as well. So yeah, they're just, I mean, literally just sitting here. Again, hopefully one day I will, you know, just make palettes of paints and then just give them away as presents or something. For now, they're literally just sitting here. Here, I don't know why I have a screwdriver, but let's see, always got to have a huge tube of white paint. And this I have actually used, as you can sort of see here, but it's just in here because I don't have a space out on my regular bookshelf to put this. I know where this is and why I have it, but these are the ones that I haven't used. So these are older watercolor tubes. This is a brand that I used to work with, Lucas, but I have my favorite colors here. This is a neutral tint. This must be, oh, chromium oxide green, one of my favorite colors. Alizarin crimson. This must be ultramarine. Yep. So again, just collecting dust, but I have like used some of it. I don't know why I have a comb here. Such random things. It's like partly junk drawer here. Museum putty. Okay, what's in here? That's just trash. And this palette was what I used to use. Oh man, I think almost 4 years ago now. It was very well used, very well loved. You can see a lot of these pans I've, you know, used almost to the bottom. Yeah, like look at this one, the purple, the chromium oxide green. Yeah, almost all of these colors I've used pretty consistently, but I haven't touched this or opened this since 2021, so I'm not sure what to do. It feels like, again, such a waste to just throw it away. I'm pretty sure I will use up these colors again eventually in my life, but for now, it's kind of like memories. Oh, but it is collecting dust. I don't know if you can see that. Those are some of the items that are collecting dust in my studio. Again, not because they're necessarily poor quality or just bad items, but I just haven't had a chance to, you know, come back to it. I think after a while, you start to develop, you know, again, habits or preferences for certain things. It was a good exercise to kind of go through my studio and see what is collecting dust. It kind of sparked something in me. So like I said, I kind of want to try making something with some of these items that I haven't touched in forever, or it's giving me ideas on how to repurpose them. Maybe in a future video, I'll share like how I'm using them or how I'm repurposing them. We'll see. Let me know in the comments if I should do that. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was interesting to see what kind of art supplies are collecting dust in my studio. And I'd love to know what is collecting dust in your studio or your space. Maybe it's a marker set. Maybe it's that brush pack where you don't use 80% of the brushes. Let me know in the comments what they are. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.